Hi guys, Tor from TC here, and we're at GuitCon in Germany, and we have the amazing Mary Spender here. So glad that you could find the time in a busy schedule here and a ton of videos to do this.
I know, well, the same goes for you as well. I'm very happy to be here.
So, just wanted to hear a little bit first about you. When did you start playing and influences and stuff like that?
Okay, so I started playing electric guitar first, and I started when I was 11. But I think I bought my first guitar when I was 12.
Yeah.
Pacifica 112.
Oh,
my Yamaha.
The Yamaha one? Yeah. Those are great.
It was a great starter guitar, but I didn't have pedals for a really long time. And then I shifted to acoustic. But yeah, I've been playing for a while now, but ever since I got my Vigier guitar, which is not this, in 2015, I started building up my pedal board and started really, really small. Yeah. Just keeping things simple, and just now it's sort of getting out of control a little bit.
It's dangerous to be in a place like that because everybody's geeking out.
I know, like all these walls of pedals. But yeah.
So, and what about, playing style-wise? Did you have somebody, some kind of moment where you went like, oh, I want to do this because of, a certain musician or something like that?
Yes, I loved Muse.
Oh.
Yeah, I loved them.
That's surprising, considering,
I know, I've gone a bit softer now, but I started off in a heavy metal rock band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, not heavy metal. Like it turned out to be because of the guys I was playing with, they wanted to do more of those sort of songs. Yeah. But I started out just wanting to play Muse songs. Yeah. And I just really wanted to be able to play guitar and sing at the same time the way Matt Bellamy did. Yeah? Haven't quite mastered it, but yeah, I just really, really influenced by those albums. And then when I was 18, I discovered John Mayer. Yeah. And that Where the Light Is album, seeing the way he played guitar and used his style.
Oh yeah, the live album?
Yeah,
that's a great album.
Absolutely, yeah. and that completely changed my life. And then just the soloing, oh yeah. So John Mayer's been a huge, huge influence. But then I guess in terms of women playing guitar, I grew up on Joni Mitchell. Yeah. And all the different tunings that she mastered, essentially.
Do you use different tunings yourself?
Yeah, not as much. I actually stick in standard, mainly because I like to keep things quite simple. And it was why I didn't have a pedal board for a really long time. Yeah. And kind of why I played acoustic for a few years, just because I like to get up on stage and only have to worry about performing. And so anything technical, especially when I was younger, kind of made me nervous, even more so.
And it's more to
worry about, more to carry around. So yeah, Joni Mitchell, and then Katie Tunstall came out with her first album when I was about 14, 15, and then another woman called Nerina Paulo, who I saw support Suzanne Vega. Oh. Yeah, and obviously Suzanne Vega was amazing, but Nerina Paulo was her support act, and she was playing piano, and then she got up and played guitar, and I was like, what? How did that just happen? And so those sort of songwriters and the way they incorporate guitar really, really influenced me too.
So, you write your own music, obviously. Anybody who's seen your channel will know that as well. Yeah. And, we heard you play yesterday, and it was really, really good. I was actually quite blown away with it. I thought it was really good. And one of the things, apart from, great singing, being a guitar player, one of the things I noticed is that, a lot of times when you have somebody playing and singing, the guitar parts tend to be fairly simple. More like, and they kind of just support the singing. Yeah. But I find that you do all these little things like slurs and slides and snaps and stuff. How did that come about? Is something you just kind of, subconsciously do, or is it something you've been working on?
I've definitely been working on more intricate playing. Like it's still nowhere near where I want it to be, and that's what I love about the guitar as well. It's just like you can never do everything. But I think I really cared about, even though I wasn't the best guitarist when I was a teenager, I really cared that it was interesting and that I wasn't just someone standing up just accompanying myself. Like I wanted it to be an integral part of the show. Yeah. And it's a bit of a security blanket as well, because it just adds so much when you can have that support with melodies, with bass lines, all from one instrument. It just makes my life a lot more interesting. It also makes my life a lot more difficult. Like the second song I played last night, which is one of the riffs I've been playing around with now. that took a few live performances to really
get it under
feel comfortable with. Yeah, because I've started closing my eyes as well. I never used to close my eyes while I played, and now I do. Yeah. I don't know what changed. So now I really have to have it in muscle memory and just not be thinking about it. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
And
so you can, and I guess you want to worry more about the vocals and how that projects.
Yeah,
and just have
about
the guitar
emotion
playing
and stuff. The feeling.
Feelings. So how about the whole YouTube thing? How did you start doing that?
Yeah, it was kind of by coincidence in one way. I've always liked filmmaking, so I've always had a camcorder. I used to borrow my dad's camcorders when I was a kid and do, like, especially with the tape ones, the really, really old ones. Yeah. I would try and make films just on tape without any editing because computers weren't like quick enough or good enough to actually edit anything. So I'd make these music videos and I'd record myself singing and playing guitar. And thank God YouTube wasn't actually around then. Although actually it was, and there are a few hidden YouTube videos, which one day I will release and have to explain because they're so dodgy. But yeah, this year has been big. So this time last year, I decided that the best way to keep up content was to do something that was easy to keep on doing. So original music is great, but people don't necessarily learn about your personality. You can't do an original song every day necessarily unless you're really, really prolific, which I'm not quite there yet. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to talk. I'm going to talk about guitars. I'm going to talk about the music industry, about my opinions on stuff. And the second Tuesday talks that I did, after the first one where I was just talking to camera at my kitchen table and just talking about like opinions on the music industry and stuff like that, just to myself. The second one was a pedal review, and that did really, really well. Yeah. And I was really shocked by that because that was the second video I'd put up. Yeah. And so after 10 years of YouTube, having my account, not really using it properly, suddenly this video went wild. And it was the first time I'd really properly spoken to a camera. Yeah. And I just started really loving it. I love editing, I love filmmaking, I love my cameras, I love my tech gear, a bit of a nerd. And then I just started accruing an audience. I did a thing, I did like 25 days in December where I was like, okay, I'm going to call it my daily shred. And just do, even though I'm not shredding, I just choose a riff from a famous song and then sort of loop it and then solo over it. And it was mainly just like a practice thing and to hold myself accountable to have to do something every day. Yeah. But then that grew my subscribers just a little bit. And then in January I went to NAMM, did a vlog of every day at NAMM, because I was sort of a bit of a free ranger. I wasn't. I did a few performances every day, but then I could just wander around. And then I got into. I snuck into a John Mayer press conference. Oh, actually, no, I didn't sneak in. I asked permission to go in there, but I hadn't been invited. And so filmed that and put that up, and that blew up too. Yeah. And then I just kept on delivering a Tuesday talk every week, plus more videos. And really, I try and drill in that I am a singer-songwriter first, rather than being a YouTuber. But by no means am I offended by being called a YouTuber at all, because that's kind of how people know me, and that's how they found out about me. So it's really good. So do you have any plans both for the music and your channel? Yes. So I really want to tour a lot because I haven't. I've done self-promoted tours where I've like got in touch with venues and just gone to. I've been to America and been to Germany where we are now and just sorted out tours, but I didn't have a fan base there. No. It was just sort of whoever was in the room at the time or who was generous enough to come out and see me when no one knew who I was. So next year I've got a 5-day UK tour, and then hopefully I'll be able to do a few dates in the US and Europe and try and sort those out. But cool. That's the main thing, and obviously recordings as well. Yeah. So you said you might have an EP working on. I'm working on it. Yeah. Cool. Well, best of luck, and thanks so much for coming here. Thanks for having me.